716-578-1007 or 1-800-348-1007.
What's coming down? They have massive, massive wildfires up in Alberta, I think. Because government of Ontario, of course, real smart in cutting their forest fire emergency budget. So now they're dealing with this up there.
What's frustrating for me is I woke up to a message from my oldest daughter, who is 24 years old now.
Jeez.
And I know, right?
I know, it's wild.
And she said, buy an N95 mask and wear it. And I'm like, is this the same kid that I had to repeatedly bust for vaping when she was in high school? Now you're all worried about things getting in your lungs, but
you didn't have to. You didn't have to repeatedly bust her for vaping, Bill.
Dude.
You wanted to.
Well, listen,
Narc.
It wasn't necessarily me. It was the school's like, hey, can you tell your kid to stop vaping at school?
It's distracting the teacher.
They were probably telling every parent that, though, by the way.
Right. That was
the
like
kids love the vaping.
The height of the, what was the Juul?
Yeah.
Juulin was all the rage back then.
Yep.
24.
So the smoke from the Canadian wildfires, there's health alerts in New York and in Ottawa and in Toronto. Pretty wild. Here, I'll show you this if you're watching the live stream. This is Toronto, I believe, or Ottawa, parts of... Oh, yeah, it's Ottawa, which is the capital. Look at that.
Looks like end of the world.
Well, it's like, remember there were the wildfires in San Francisco a few years ago?
That
When,
was creepy.
It was daytime and...
it's like dark orange and
It's crazy. So, yeah, because everything's dry right now and everything's warm right now. And so it's a big, big deal in Canada, but that smoke is starting to come down here.
Yeah, when you said that the forest caught on fire in Alberta, and yes, that's tragic. I'm just wondering, for my Cleveland friends, is it harder to catch a forest on fire or a river on fire? I know they've done it 3 times, but I just gotta believe it might be a little harder to catch a river on fire.
That's one of our Detroit bureau chiefs just rubbing it in. You son of a bitch.
13 times.
Son
Get
of
it
a
right. We
bitch.
caught the river on fire 13 times.
You know where that information's going to come in handy?
On the funny bus?
On the Cleveland Funny Bus tonight with Bill Squire. And boy, you thought he was making noise in the movie theater.
Yeah.
You just wait.
We get wild on the funny bus. I brought a bunch of Rockin' Buzzard brews to share with anybody that comes on the bus.
I did that, because I was the day that it dropped. The day that we had some.
And they're going to be ice cold. I have a cooler in my car with packed full of ice, and I got some of those Rockin' Buzzard brews. And
wait, do people have to come to your trunk?
No,
yes.
It's a cooler. It's a cooler that I can bring on the bus. Because nobody wants a warm beer.
Right.
I want it to be cold.
Right.
So I'm going to bring it on over. And so get some of those Rockin' Buzzard brews with us. And then also, if you like Twisted Teas, I have a lot of those that I'm trying to get rid of for certain reasons. Don't worry about it.
Certain reasons. Have they spoiled? You
No,
know,
they haven't
you know the bus
spoiled.
leaves from a brewery, right? Just FYI. Yeah,
but it's BYOB.
Yeah, no, I know. It absolutely is.
And I need to get this.
Why do you need to unload your Twisted Teas?
Because I don't drink Twisted Teas.
He found them.
You found Twisted Teas?
That's fine. I found them in my fridge.
No, he didn't. He found them spewed about a park, actually.
Oh, you can do the math on this, Alan.
He claimed them, and then now he is selling them to you.
These were from the pool cast?
These weren't, no, because nobody in the pool drinks Twisted Teas either.
So you found a bunch of, how many? What?
He collected them across the country on his last trip.
No, Mary's trying to divert my attention.
No,
she's trying to throw tacks in the road.
I used to.
Oh, your girlfriend drank Twisted Teas. Am I right?
Yes.
And she's gone.
Yes.
So you've got now these Twisted Teas that you need to get rid of.
Exactly.
Part of his,
I see.
There you
go.
She didn't get custody of him?
I mean, she doesn't want him.
Part of his
purge.
Yeah.
Emotional purge.
His emotional purge is getting rid of. Hey, do you want these bad juju Twisted Teas tonight in the funny bus? Are they any special flavor? Or are they the OG double T's?
Just the OG ones. Just regular 12-ounce
I'll tell you what, once in a while, boy, I will have me a couple of, not at home or anything, but like if somebody's like, oh, we're going to go, what are we doing tonight? You're in a group of people and they go, we're going to do karaoke. I got to have like 4 Twisted Teas in me.
For karaoke, that's the only way you can do it.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet, so you got to kind of walk
Yeah,
a
I
fine line
can't
there.
drink
but I
them.
mean,
They're too
yeah.
sweet for me.
Okay.
Like every once in a while, if that's the only thing, I'll have one. But like, I don't prefer them.
The first time I went to, I never liked Twisted Teas, but the first time I went to Folly Beach, South Carolina, was for my friend's wedding. And a bunch of the bars down there, I don't know if it's a liquor that they made in South Carolina or what, but it was sweet tea vodka.
Mm-hmm.
And the entire
That's
week,
good.
dude, the entire week I was down
Actually,
there.
I remember you talking about
I was
it.
mixing the sweet tea vodka with lemonade, and I was like, this is the best drink I've ever had in my entire life. I probably drank a bottle of it myself that week. It was like one of my favorite things I had ever discovered.
Years ago, we went up to the UP. It was me and Gwen, her dad, and her brother. So the four of us went up to the Quaden Casino in St. Ignace. And we'd all had a pretty good night. I think my father-in-law, my brother-in-law were in a poker tournament or something. Gwen and I were just kind of screwing around. But everybody had had a pretty good night. And we ended like really, really late in one of the bars, and they were doing karaoke, and I was just sucking down Twisted Teas. I was balotto at that karaoke. But then you kind of get that sour tummy because it's all, I don't know why I said tummy, but I've been talking about because I have a 7-year-old at home, and sometimes
belly, it was just so hot.
Is your tum-tum okay?
My little tum.
oh God,
Oh, got a
I
sour
think I need a
tum-tum.
little Pepto-Bismol.
no, I have a 7-year-old, and sometimes I forget where I am, and
Unprofessional.
yeah, I know. I'm sorry, it is.
Isn't that amazing? I hope you think so.
Yeah.
You
The
wanna dump-
vodka was called Firefly vodka.
Yeah, I
don't know
remember
if they had it.
Firefly.
God, it was so good. And this was like
Yummy.
2014, maybe
Yeah.
2015, somewhere around there.
I remember that was a big summer for that vodka.
Mixed
But
with
like
lemonade.
that vodka like came and went. Like
Yeah.
it was like that summer people were loving it and then it was gone.
Well, it was like a cure for, or a recipe for a hangover.
Yeah.
100%. She also-
All these people are texting me, Alan, you're so stupid. You're so dumb. You're so stupid. The Twisted Teas. I wasn't getting it. Oh, I'm sorry. Bill's relationship is not at the front of my cerebral cortex at all
Well, it
times.
should be.
Me
Sorry.
either.
Right, exactly. If he doesn't care, I don't care.
I care. Just
Yeah, right.
being
You're
silly.
why would you?
Well, I-
It's over. Time to move on. There's always another person. You exemplify that on this program.
I
Never
know, I do.
forget.
I know.
Hashtag never forget.
That's the thing that you should never forget. So
Yes.
Bill has 1 year long relationships.
I thought you guys, how long are you guys together?
A little over a year.
It seemed longer than that.
I-
Did it to you too?
No, I
Oh.
felt like a year and like a month.
Okay. I believe that's a baker's dozen relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Year and a month.
13 months.
Yeah, year and a month. So what else do you have to purge? It can't just be Twisted Teas.
No, it's just about that. Hmm.
What?
Condoms.
That's it?
What?
My boy didn't use condoms. What are you
Exactly.
Come
I'm not
on.
gonna start using
He's
them
got,
again.
he's got to purge CVS of all their condoms.
Uh-huh.
I want to be sure you know how to use a condom, rubber, a raincoat, a boner bucket, party hat, squirt skirt, love sock.
Well, all I'll say is congratulations. I don't think I said it to you before when we were talking about it. Congratulations.
Thank
Because
you.
it's a whole new day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Lots of people asking what happened. on the live
Yes. So
stream.
lots of ladies asking what happened.
That's what,
We
honestly,
broke
what
up.
it
What
looks like.
happened? Doesn't matter what happened.
We broke up. That's
What
happened.
matters is it happened.
I need you to bare your soul.
And now we
don't
can
do
all-
that. I
Every-
hate doing that. I don't do
Every
that.
single
Listen,
word.
I did. Mary's the one that shares every detail of her life. I keep things
Want me to share it
private.
for you?
Yeah. So, we broke up. I broke up with her, and that's all I'm sharing.
Mary,
Yes.
just because a guy talks about stomping poop through the sink in his tub, all right,
Right.
he likes to keep things private.
Obviously.
Certain things.
Right. It's not for public consumption what happened.
It's boring. Nobody wants to know.
Right. Everybody's been through a billion breakups.
Mm-hmm.
There's
I haven't
nothing-
been through a billion.
There's nothing compelling about you. People go, "Ooh, what
I
happened?"
put the bill in billion breakups.
I've been through like 5 breakups.
Bill needs to take Mary's sister's advice.
What?
The best way to get over a girl, get on top of another one. Yeah.
Have
Which-
some sex.
What sister was that? The OnlyFans sister?
Dude, that is an old joke.
Oh,
So
okay.
I I have 2 things coming out in the next couple months, so I'm kind of stagnant with material right now. For
Oh, that's a
social
stand-up
media.
thing.
Yeah, for social
okay.
media. So I posted that clip a couple days ago, maybe last week, about my sister giving me that advice that the best way to get over a guy is to get under another. And the punchline is, okay, 22-year-old sister with a 6-year-old kid, and get it because she's irresponsible. And I had a bunch of sex.
I mean, now that you explain it, I get it. Yeah. I like things explained to me. All the listeners had to explain to me that Bill was talking about his ex-girlfriend's twisted teas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's even crazier is that it's not actually the drink. It's all of her tie-dyed shirts.
Yeah.
She took her teas and physically
He
twisted them.
said twisted teats.
Yeah. Now he's handing them out.
Yeah. All right. By the way, hashtag never forget. That's what they're saying over there at the PGA because they merged with a Saudi Arabian. Everybody, I couldn't give a fat frog's ass about golf, right? But this is a fun story to watch, I guess, because the guy who I guess is the commissioner, who knew there was a golf commissioner, but the guy who's the commissioner of the PGA has been screaming about how they will never merge with this company called LIV, this Saudi Arabian golf company, which is just tossing millions and billions of dollars around trying to get like top golfers. And some of them did. Some of them cashed out and went over to LIV. And some of them said, I'm not going to do this. I have to take a stand here. And those people kind of got screwed because they merged anyway. And so I guess the guys who thought that they were taking a stand against golfing for a Saudi Arabian company, a Saudi Arabian public investment fund, I guess kicked out enough cash or whatever. And, you know, whoever's writing the checks controls the shots. So I don't know what the PGA thinks they're going to get out of it, but a lot of golfers are calling for this commissioner to resign over this merger.
I recognize everything that I've said in the past in my prior positions. I recognize that people are going to call me a hypocrite. And anytime I've said anything, I said it with the information I had at that moment. And I said it based on someone that's trying to compete for the PGA Tour and our players. And so I accept those criticisms, but circumstances do change. And I think that, you know, in looking at the big picture and looking at it this way, that's what got us to this point.
The part of the story that I liked the most was what I read where they said that that guy, the commissioner, Jay Monahan, secretly met with Yasser Al-Rumayyan, who is the head of the Saudi Public Investment Fund, which bankrolls the LIV. And the quote said, "No one knows what was said in the meeting, but the two struck a deal after only their second meeting." They were like, yeah, remember what happened to Jamal Khashoggi? You don't want that to happen to you, do you? You got a nice professional golf club here. We'd hate to see something bad happen to it. Do you like your head connected to your body? Because that's kind of our thing, is ending that. So anyway.
You know that thing you're never supposed to forget?
Yeah, they forgot.
Mm-hmm. You might want to forget about that.
How about that? So they throw some golfer on CNN, this poor son of a bitch, and he's got to sit there like gulp, gulp. Yeah. He's taking, you know, he drew the short straw on sitting there with a straight face and talking about, you know, this is going to be great for golfers and golfing and everything. And I think it was Caitlin Collins that was talking to him, the woman who hosted the Trump town hall a couple of weeks ago. And she's like,
she kind of grills him. It's kind of awesome.
Well, of course. She's like, you know, he's like, does it bother you? Like 9/11 families are screaming about this because Saudi Arabia, you know.
Does it make you uncomfortable at all? Because it's not just that. They're accused of financing terrorism. They also are accused of killing a Washington Post reporter, Jamal Khashoggi. How do you feel knowing that that is where the money is backed by?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's unfortunate what has happened, and that's something I cannot necessarily speak on as I'm a golfer, but what I can say is that what they're trying to do...
They always go, man, I'm just a golfer, man. I don't know anything. I'm just...
What they're trying to work on is to be better allies, because we are allies with them, and look, I'm not going to get into the politics of it. I'm not specialized in that, but what I can say is they are trying to do good for the world and showcase themselves in a light that hasn't been seen in a while.
You know,
and
women are part of the
perfect,
world.
But we're all trying to improve in life.
You're wrong.
Yeah, I think they would say, you know.
Yeah, he goes, no one's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
Listen, nobody's perfect. You're going to have a 9/11 every 20 years.
It hasn't been seen in a while. And nobody's perfect, but we're all trying to improve in life.
Yeah, I think they would say, it's not just about politics, it's also about human rights, and that is where the critics have weighed in so heavily on this.
Oh, man, this poor guy. That sounded very familiar to me.
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere such as.
Everywhere like such as.
That's like me trying to avoid questions about my breakup.
Yeah.
I firmly believe
that the breakup was
don't
such
have maps,
as,
my
and,
twisted
yeah.
teas and such as. I love how he goes, Ottawa. Now they don't want to get into politics. Oh, I get it.
Duh.
Everything else, people are screaming about rainbow T-shirts in Target, but when it comes to golf, not the time for politics.
Not the time.
With
Alan.
Saudi Arabia, Jared Kushner sold classified information to grab billions of dollars from that guy. But they're like, no, cool.
But golf, we got to grow the game of golf.
Got to go the game of golf.
We need more golfers.
Oh my God!
We got an abundance of golf balls sitting on shelves, and it is just killing the economy right now.
The Titleist people are not happy now. It's time to forgive the Saudis for 9/11. I think 20 years is enough time to set aside thousands of years of. Take your cues from Lionel Messi. This is the best guy ever to play the game of soccer. That's a lot of people think. And Saudi Arabia's team, they threw a jumbo jet of money to him. And he said, no, thanks. He's going to play for Miami. Yep.
My sports break.
Is it in there? It's
It
going
is.
to be the first time that he's played for a team outside Europe. He left Paris Saint-Germain. And Saudi Arabia threw a giant bag of money at him. And he's like, no. They threw him like $500 million, I think,
Yep.
to join Al Hilal. And he's like, no, I'm going to go to the U.S. So good for him. I mean, he was already a rich guy, but still, he's like, I ain't going to do that.
This has been
The Alan Cox Show, pandering to soccer fans.
Okay, I've got to take a break here. I'll have those Buzzard Fest